old route. This is another route that I've borrowed from the Experience Fayetteville website. If you're interested in any of those, go to that website, go to the, I believe it's Things to Do tab, motorcycling, and then there's about six routes you can do for dual sport or adventure motorcycling. This is the last route of them that I haven't done, so we're going to check it out today. What I've seen so far, my personal favorites, the Heart of the Ozarks, I believe it's called, is a really excellent route. The Wandering Wildlife Tour is another really excellent one. The shortest one is, I can't remember what it's called, but it goes through Devil's Den. It's if you don't have a lot of time, that's one to try. It's a decent little route. Hope you guys can hear me okay. I don't have a dedicated mic set up. I'm just simply talking in through my helmet at the GoPro. Hopefully it's picking up okay. I don't know if I decide to mess with this filming stuff some more. I'll have to get a mic at some point, but we'll see. By myself today. I typically have another guy or two that rides with me. That's the other part of the Burger Boys trio. Only one Burger Boy today. So the other guys are either out of town or had other things going. That's what happens in life. So anyway, I'll film a little. I'm gonna play around with the 360 camera a little bit today. That's going to be something new, so we'll see how that footage turns out. I'm not going to bore you with listening to me talk forever, so I'll just film a little, ride along, maybe talk every now and then. I probably won't do this entire route because I know the end of it's going to loop me right back to Fayetteville, which is not really a direction that I need to go. All of the routes on that page start and end around Fayetteville Square for whatever reason, I don't know, but typically I will go that way to start and then go whichever way I need to go to get back home. For me, Fayetteville's just kind of out of the way. This morning I came down to Fayetteville. It's actually been a pretty fair amount of pavement that I've rode to get to this first gravel. So, but anyway, it looks like, from what I've seen in another video I've seen, this looks like another really good route with some beautiful country. It's a beautiful day. It's about 73 degrees right now. See what we can get into. I'll talk to y'all later. See ya. All right. Got the 360 camera mounted up. Seems like a good day to lose a $300 or $400 camera. We'll see what happens. Hopefully not, but we'll see. Be a good road to test out the image stabilization on that camera, because I know this one's pretty lumpy. Got a decent downhill coming up. Yeah, we'll see. I may need to shorten the stick up a little bit. it'll surprise me. That's what I'm hoping. To be determined. Okay, well, first adjustment number one is in the books. Full length on the rod didn't work. Didn't last long at all till about the first big bump. So shortened it up a little bit. We'll see how that works out. Loose today, got a few little ruts in it. One of the things that makes adventure biking fun, you can ride the same road, but depending on how the weather's been, it ain't the same road. Same road, different terrain. It's not like riding on the pavement where it is the same road all the time. When it's hot in the summertime, being out here off the pavement is cooler. The back roads, typically there's more shade, definitely less traffic. What's not to like about that? cannot even see my camera in the mirror. Have we lost it? No, we have not lost it. Not yet, anyway. Alright, we're going to try something different. Stand by. Made a slight adjustment to the 360. Rougher than it was the last time I came through this road. Fun though. don't know how long messing with this 360 is going to last. It's already starting to suck some of the fun out of the day, just messing with it, worrying about it. We'll see. It's not looking good though. Maybe I'll try to mount it up here on the handlebars. Maybe that'll help a little bit. Be a different view. I'm not sure how the other folks that do this stuff, I don't know how they have theirs mounted. Maybe they've got better gear. I'm just not sure. Maybe my Amazon stick isn't quite up to par. So anyway, traveling on, still enjoying the day. For the 360 camera. Try it mounted right here. I don't really like it there, but at least I can see the camera and know whether I'm losing it or not. I hate for you guys to have to spend very much time looking at me, but that's how it'll be a little bit for now anyway. So moving on. About ready for lunch before too long. Probably lunch. The route's going to take me right past the OARC General Store, which is always a really good option for lunch. They have great burgers, sandwiches there, pie. Yeah, never a bad place to stop. But today, I think I'm going to go see Grumpy down at Grumpy's Burger Barn in Ozone, right off Highway 21. Also some really good food. Randy's a good guy. Don't let him fool you by the name Grumpy. And sometimes he is a little bit grumpy, but I don't think he means it. So I like him. Good guy. Like I said, great food. Small business, so try to patron those people as much as I can. So, okay, we're rolling. So far today, the roads are pretty bumpy, a little bit loose on top. Got a few ruts on the up and downhill sections. Pretty much exactly what I expect out of this area, really. Pretty much always this way to some degree. Car. anybody that's ever rode with me much knows that having to backtrack a little bit is nothing new. Sometimes I miss turns. You know, sometimes depending on the trail, if it's a little bit rough, you know, I kind of start trying to pay a little bit more attention to what I'm doing and less attention to the pink line on the screen that's telling me where to go. In that case, coming down this particular hill, I have missed a turn somewhere. Been on this road before, I thought I knew where I was going, but this is a slightly different route, and yeah. Turn way back. Hell, I'm all the way back at the top of the hill now. It's alright. It was a good hill. It was fun. It was rough and chunky. Kind of like me. People say it, and I know it's true, but it's probably, sometimes it probably seems like just what people say, but these cameras do not do any justice to how steep or rough a lot of these roads and trails really are. Anybody that's rode and anybody that's done any filming at all will tell you the same. That was a hard edged rock right there. Yeah, I've missed my turn way the hell back here. In fact, I'm starting to wonder if I should have turned right there by where I stopped last. Alright. Fun hill to go back up anyway. Actually, in fact, I kind of like going up better than down. Yeah. Garmin's telling me I'm still half a mile from where I should have turned. Good times. I can at least see it on the Garmin screen now. I do want to give some credit. I believe, and I could be mistaken, but all of those routes that I mentioned earlier on that website, I think all of those routes have been laid out by one guy. His name is Will Cheek. If that's true, then thank you, Will, for laying out some good routes for all the rest of us to enjoy. If you guys are interested in some good videos, better videos than what I put out for sure, go to Will's channel on YouTube. It's called, I believe it's called Cheeks Will Ride, and he's got some really good footage there. I've never met him. Seems like a really good guy from what I see on the videos, and maybe hopefully one day we can meet up and ride some. So I know he spends a whole lot of time mapping out routes and tracks and things for other people to enjoy. So alright, now we're back on the right road, back where I should be going. This is a road that I haven't been on previously, so maybe some new country. And I really don't know. I see these guys, they film and they just talk the entire time, and man, I just really don't know what they talk about or what I would talk about without just randomly rambling along like I am right now. So I'm going to shut up, ride, and if I think of anything important to say, I'll check back. Otherwise, enjoy the ride. This route I'm on, just from what I looked at, is going to take me, it's actually taking me around the Mill Creek OHV area. It's taking me around the trailhead for that, and I'm going to tie into West Fly Gap Road, and then it's going to take me across the East Fly Gap, which I'm not sure is even open, but if I can get on it, I'll take it as far as it'll let me go anyway. The last time I went that way, it was closed. So we'll see how that goes. My two buddies, Daryl and Rusty, would be absolutely loving this right now if they were here. But that's all right. I won't rub it in their face or nothing that they've missed out on such a good ride. Much anyway, maybe a little. Oh hell. Alright, you guys can see the screen on my Garmin. You see that pink dotted line that's going the opposite direction of what I am? Well, that's telling me that I've missed a turn again, and at 0.6 miles off course. So see if I can turn this thing around. Well, that was unimpressive. Hopefully this won't be a bunch of deep mud. A little bit, maybe. Yeah, get out here on these tracks you've never ran before, It's actually pretty important to try to pay attention to that screen, and I just don't all the time. I start riding or I start talking, and I miss my turns. Like I said, anybody that's rode with me much is used to it. They know it's going to happen at least a couple times a ride. They don't yell at me too much. They don't give me very much of a hard time. In fact, most of the time, I think they're just glad that I'm leading and they're not. So, man, it's such a nice day down here in the shade. Still showing 70 degrees. I think we're looking today high mid 80s or so. I think it'll get warmer whenever I have to pop out on the pavement. Here's that truck again. Now he knows I missed a turn too. I'm sure using the Garmin I could have found my way through without having to backtrack any, but I kind of like to try to stick to the track just in case there's something along it that is worth seeing that the person that laid it out, you know, was planning on me to see. So got my shield up, eyes are watering. Or, I don't know. Are they watering because of the wind, or are they just watering because this ride is so good that it just brings a tear to my eye? You know? Hard to say. Alright. We're getting close. I know. That was corny, but that's all I had. All right, here's my turn. By sides, this is actually, we're right around the Mill Creek area, so lots of side-by-sides, four-wheelers use this area. It's pretty important to try to be careful on some of these blind curves. Try to stay to the right, because you just never know who may be coming around, what speed they're coming, things like that. On your side of the road right now, and I'm not, but I try to stay that way when I'm in areas where I can't see. And hopefully the other people are too. So we're getting close. We're on West Fly Gap right now. It has had some sections that were really tore up, really rough. Probably the worst one I didn't get on film, naturally. But we survived. We're getting close to Highway 23. We'll have to turn on 23 to go over to East Fly Gap, which, as I said earlier, I'm not sure if it is even open or not. Ooh, loose gravel here. Yeah. Probably the one thing I hate the most is deep, loose gravel. It doesn't really seem to matter what kind of tires you have. They're just going to go where they want to go. Deep, loose gravel and the gravel that's just really marbly right on the top of the hard stuff. I'm not a big fan of that either. All right, this is Highway 23. Got to make us a little bit of a jog right here. To right here. Never been on. The day we found it closed, we were coming from the other direction. So I don't know, is it truly open or is it just closed further down? We'll see. By now, but today I'm on my 23 model KTM 890 Adventure R. It's an awesome machine for this stuff here, probably for much harder stuff than I'm capable of putting it through. And it's also it's a blast to ride on the highway as well. I also have a 23 Triumph Tiger 1200 Rally Pro, also an excellent machine. It's a blast to ride. They're just different. KTM's lighter, the center of gravity is much lower. The KTM is easier to ride and better for this sort of stuff, in my opinion. The Tiger's plenty capable of doing this. I have done it plenty of times before I bought the KTM. And the Tiger is better on the road. If I were going to take a long trip with a lot of highway miles, the Tiger would be my choice. More comfortable, better wind and weather protection. Got heated grips and a heated seat. And again, the KTM's plenty capable of doing anything the Tiger will do. It's just not as good on the road. Look at this trash, would you? Wow. Now that was good stuff right there. Oh, Rusty and Daryl. They don't know what they're missing. Or maybe they do. Anyway. Okay, I'm going to shut up for a while. Alright guys, so I made it through all of East Fly Gap. I was good for a while. Then down at one end, at the western end of it, there was a barricade there, but it wasn't sitting in the road. It was off to the side of the road, and there was no sign that said anything about the road being closed. So I went on through. Everything was good. The one I came through the area that where was the reason that it had been closed before. Made it through there just fine. I can see where other people have been coming through there. Well, when I get over here to the east end, there's the same type of barricade that is in the road, and I can still see where people have been going around it. And it has a small sign on a post in front of it that says road closure. So I don't know why it's closed. I didn't really see any reason why it would need to be. But that's what the sign says. So at this point, I would probably recommend not going through there. It's easy enough to go around it. Morgan Mountain Road I'm on right now is going to drop me down to Highway 215. When you come out on 23 from West Fly Gap, you can easily just hang a right on 23 and run down to 215. It'll take you to the same place. You can avoid East Fly Gap altogether. Use your own judgment. I don't know enforcement wise whether they're watching that or not. No idea. So anyway, just heads up. All right. We'll try all kinds of new stuff today. I don't usually do the whole, I don't know, selfie filming or whatever it's called, where people have the camera pointing at themselves. I take selfies, but not usually on film. But we'll walk down here, see what the river looks like real quick, since I had to stop and put in a new battery. This is the Wolf Pen recreation area on the Mulberry. Nice area. All these areas are really nice. Everything in this area pretty much. But yeah, there's the river. Deep hole there. But yeah, it's probably River's a little bit low probably right now. I mean, it's floatable, looks like. If you don't mind dragging over some rocks a little bit. So, but yeah. Anyway, that's what I look like. All 9 of my subscribers, I think, already know that. The rest of you that don't know haven't really missed anything. So, that's that. It's getting close to lunchtime. It is lunchtime. I'm just not close to the lunch place yet, but I'm working on it. There's the bike. Here's the area. Campground. They got vault toilets there, and up the trail a little bit. There's, I think, a couple more. So I don't think those, I'm sure those are just open hole toilets. I'm sure there's no running water, but there's the machine. So far so good today. But anyhow, back on the road. Okay, so we're coming into OARC. This is the OARC school, home of the Hornets, it looks like. Little bitty place, little town. Old town. The OARC General Store here, if you don't know this, is the oldest general store in Arkansas. I can't tell you what year it started. I'm not a historian. New gas pump over there they've just installed in the last year or so. This place is always pretty busy. Very good place, very good people, very good food. Absolutely no reason not to stop there, except that I'm going to go throw a little love Randy's way over at the Burger Bar. The next gravel we get to, I think, I've looked at this route ride, it's super easy, big wide gravel, nothing, really nothing to burger bar.